Okay, hey everyone. Today's video, I'm gonna be doing a tier list based on what I think is like the strong characters in Gold Rank, and kind of just like what I've seen in Gold lobbies, and kind of like, I guess, kind of what I think is strong, and also a mix of like what I see other people play and sort of how they play in just like gold specifically for rank. And also I only play like 6v6 this last season, and I've solo queued and also queued with like a duo and trio. So yeah, I've been playing Overwatch since like it came out on Overwatch 1. I think I started like a few months after it released, and have kind of back then I was diamond on console, but that doesn't really mean anything for like PC. So yeah, now I play on PC, and this is gonna. These are like the characters that I feel like if I had them on my team, they make like a big impact on how the game is going to go, and we probably have like a greater odds of winning kind of thing. So yeah, I'm gonna make sure that okay, everything's on screen. All right, yeah. So first off, I think Bastion is pretty busted for golds, and like a lot of the characters that I rank are gonna be like specifically for gold. So like some characters that are easily ganked are probably gonna be higher up if they have like some other things with them. Since like people in gold don't really gank, they don't really flank. Um, and yeah, they just play a very like in a specific way. So yeah, Bastion I think is like one of the better DPS choices. I think in 6v6 there's a lot of tanks. You have really good damage against tanks. You can shred Reinhardt's shield. You get ult charge very quick, and his ult gets a lot of kills. A lot of people will like not move out of the way, or I don't know. Just a lot of people died to Bastion's ult. Grenade's really good for people group a lot in gold rank as well. So yeah, I'd say Bastion is like a pretty easy S tier pick, I think, right now. And also what makes him even better is Mercy damage boost. And I think Mercy probably falls off in like higher like Elo and Overwatch, because she is very hard to easy to hit, I feel like, and also like a bit easier to flank and that sort of thing, especially if you don't have like any flyers on your team to sort of like give you some extra mobility. But yeah, I think these two together is like really good. You pretty much can take on like four of the enemy team, because you can take down the tanks, and then it like if you can take both tanks down in 6v6, which is really easy with these two. No one really targets the Mercy too much, and they're gonna be worried about the Bastion, and then people like don't really, I don't know, people don't really focus Bastion for some reason, especially if you have good positioning. You can shred the tanks very easily, and I also think Bastion's like super easy to play as well, and you don't really need like your accuracy doesn't have to be insane. He just does so much damage already. So yeah, I like a lot of these characters. I think are a lot better, but I might rate them like lower just because they may be hard to play as, or you need to know like specific combos or mechanics to really make it good. So kind of like based on a if average person or new player kind of like picked up a certain character in gold rank. So McCree, I feel like he is probably like in between A and B. If you have like decent aim, he's like becomes like air like A pretty easily, and then if you have like really good aim for a gold rank, then he'd probably be S. But like besides his primary fire, um like the flashbang doesn't have much range, so he has to be kind of like this mid-range to short range, which can make it even harder to hit people. And so I'd say he's just kind of like inconsistent and like a gold player's hands, I guess. And he's still like really good. I would like put him either one of these two, but it's kind of like hit or miss. If someone picks McCree, like they might have a good game or a bad game, and it might just be like all accuracy and positioning kind of. But his ult does get a lot of kills, and not many people will actually look for the McCree when he's ulting, and will probably not get away in time. So yeah, I would say he's probably B or A. I might change it as we go. I think Soldier is S tier. I think he's like basically Bastion, but if Bastion was on wheels, I guess, and could sprint, is pretty much it. And it's especially damage boosted with the Soldier. It's like a very easy combo, and Soldier just, I mean, both of these two will just get their ult charges very quickly with a Mercy Pocket, and Soldier's ult is really good. Most people in gold, from what I've seen, kind of like know to be on a high position with it and to like make it work in that way. Yeah, he's just really good. He's really good at shredding tanks, which is kind of surprising, especially like with the damage boost I noticed, even though I don't really recommend shooting the tanks. But yeah, he's just really good, really consistent. I feel like in gold, like every soldier that I've seen has been like had pretty good damage, unless they're like just really new to the game or whatnot. Diva, I feel like should be S tier, but I'll put her as A tier. Her ult is like, it'll either kill 3 or the whole team, or it won't hit anyone. So it's kind of, I feel like it's kind of lobby dependent on if they know how to deal with Diva Bomb or not. But if they don't, then it's a lot of free kills with their ultimate. But a weird thing that happens with Diva that I noticed in gold rank is when she's out of mech, people won't really like run away and hide with her gun and try to get ult back or play kind of safe. They'll just kind of like run forward or try to get like a kill with a trade. I don't really know why, but yeah. And also they kind of burn the like bullet absorption meter that she has. They will kind of just use up that whole bar and then not have any resource. And I don't really see people like take advantage of the mobility on her with her dash to like create space or anything. And she also does a lot of damage and can like kind of flank. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't see many like gold players use her as like a dive tank really. They kind of just play her as like a Reinhardt or something. And maybe I'll talk about Reinhardt next. I feel like Rein is like kind of in B tier, I feel like, or like in between. He kind of, I feel like a lot of Reinhardts in gold are kind of, yeah, I don't want to say useless, but it honestly kind of feels that way when playing, because a lot of them will just stand and basically do nothing. Like they won't try to create space with him. They don't really use his barrier for anything besides just soaking up damage. And then when his barrier is down, a lot of Reinhardts will just charge forward and just try to get kills with the hammer when he has no barrier, which I'm not really sure why, but that's kind of how I see Reinhardt. Like I would say like 90% of gold Reinhardt's play is hold up barrier, wait till it goes down, and then you charge in with literally charged or whatnot. But yeah, I don't know why he's played like that, but yeah, that's really how he's played. Genji, I feel like Genji's tricky because I feel like if you know his mechanics and different things, he could be like definitely like an S tier character for gold rank, because he can jump on the DPS and the backlines really easy with an off angle. and there's not much they can do really. You have deflect, which you can escape out with. You have wall climb. You have dash. There's a lot of things. Yeah, but he kind of takes like, you have to know to do like his combos with shuriken dash into melee and then like shuriken melee. And yeah, but also blade, and if you're solo queuing and you have no support on your blade, then he feels like here sometimes in gold. Like if you have no Ana or something to basically pocket you, or Zarya, then it kind of feels like a C rank character sometimes. And but yeah, if you're like abusing his mobility and can flank and take out backlines, then it's like a free win pretty much most games in gold. So I think he kind of hovers. I'll just put him in the middle because it's very like player dependent. But most gold Genjis, I would say, are probably around here. Like whenever I see a Genji in gold, they're not really using any of his combos. It's just kind of like basic. They're just chucking shurikens, waiting for Dragon Blade, and then they'll Dragon Blade and maybe get a kill. And that's kind of all I see for Genji. Or they're like dashing on enemies that are like 10 HP, and that's pretty much the only time I see Genji actually get a kill. Very rarely in gold rank will I see like Genji actually do a combo and like kill someone that was 100% HP on their own. Hanzo I'd probably say is like C. His accuracy dependent, and gold rank people's aim isn't like insane. And yeah, I feel like just half the time I see, like half the time there's a Hanzo on the enemy or my team, he's very easy to take down. Whenever I'm like dueling a Hanzo, it kind of just feels like I'm more so scared if he's gonna like accidentally kill me than like purposefully kill me with like a random headshot or something. And then I don't know, his ult's pretty easy to like get around. It's only really good on like specific maps and like corridors and things. So yeah, I feel like he like should be up here with like good aim and kind of like positioning, and like I don't really see Hanzo's wall climb much to move around to make themselves a little trickier. But yeah, I think that probably, I would say Junkrat is probably S. I haven't played much Junkrat lately, but just the fact that he does so much damage and his projectiles are like a bit easy to hit in gold rank, since like most 6v6 games will just have everyone grouped together. Like it's very run as a unit. There's not much flanking going on in 6v6. Like no one takes off angles. It's very group heavy. Two tanks in front. Reinhardt probably is there with a Sigma or something. They're just overlapping shields and covering a small area, and then like their backline is like pretty hunched together. So Junkrat can basically just lob over and eventually like kind of do more damage than the teams do into you, or he can break a barrier or that sort of thing. And his ult catch a lot of people off guard. A lot of people, I noticed, when they hear tire, they'll actually like go towards their team, and kind of like everyone will group, and then more people will die to tire, which is kind of weird, but it happens a lot. And he's pretty mobile. He's got C4. His trap, a lot of people will step in the trap, even if it's like right in front of them. Lucio, I think, is probably like D tier for gold. I think he's a bit difficult to play like his like true potential with the wall and boop and that sort of thing, like right in the wall, so you're harder, and then booping into like your shots. Yeah, it's just, I don't really see many Lucios do that. They kind of just stick with team and are just like speed boosting and whatnot. But his speed boost is kind of useless in a lot of scenarios, like if you're on defense and you're guarding a payload. and you're like speed boosted to walk 2 feet forward. Yeah, it's just kind of, if you like are really good at Lucio, then he's like obviously up here. But for like the average gold player, I would say probably D tier, just because other than, yeah, I just feel like it's hard to for players in gold unless you're like one trick or you kind of know a lot about Lucio. But yeah, I just like the average person picking up Lucio in gold. I feel like it's a little hard to be impactful. He does have beat, which can like cancel out like a Genji ult or something like that, but or a soldier ult. But yeah, Mei I feel like is like somewhere in between, but I'll probably put her at A tier. I think she's like in 6v6, she's like a third tank. Wall, a lot of Meis use wall against themselves. I noticed a lot of Meis will use wall they use wall to like in the hopes that they're helping out their team, but oftentimes they'll wall the enemy team, and then it actually just makes like the enemy team have an advantage because most Meis will put the wall where like you would have wanted like Reinhardt to hold his shield up. Like they put it in the perfect spot to actually help the enemy team, which I don't think a lot of Meis know that they're doing that. But yeah, and then also they will use the ice shield or barrier that they put around the sumps to heal. They'll use that like way too early when they didn't really need to, or they'll use it when they're like way too deep and don't really have a way out. So yeah, but it all makes up for like her ultimate is really good in overtime and to take points. Really, it can like shut down teams, and I don't know, her ultimate's just really good. I feel like it's pretty easy to hit in gold rank. And yeah, and then her primary fire is just like very easy to work with. And her alternate fire, I don't really see many people hit that. Like you occasionally get headshotted, but it's pretty rare unless you're letting her poke at you. Pharah, I think, is really good. I would maybe even have her over Soldier. I feel like Soldier's a lot easier though. I'd say like probably this. But yeah, Pharah is just really good. Pharah, the thing that makes Pharah really good, especially in gold rank, is that you create like a problem for the enemy where they have to go like 3 hit scan if they want to kill you consistently before you kill their supports or their DPS. So by just selecting one character, you create like this problem of 3 other characters. I mean, if the whole enemy team is, or your team is all hit scan, then she's like not as good. But even then, if you have a pharmacy and also like, yeah, then it still is workable. Her missiles do a lot of damage. They like a kind of like Junkrat in a way. So yeah, and you can easily pop up in the air, and oftentimes Reinhardt will just stand with shields, and you could just shoot as many rockets at him as you want, and he will probably not even look up at you. And same with a lot of the supports. Like you could be shooting at the supports, and all of a sudden it splits up their entire team, and then they're all panicking to kill the Pharah, and probably on comms to swap to Soldier. So it just creates like this whole dilemma just by picking one character. And yeah, and yeah, I don't know, she's kind of hard to hit for even hit scans, I feel like, to like actually get the kill on her. Reaper, I think, is probably a lot of gold Reaper players I think are too obvious with his ultimate. I think that kind of brings him down. If they kind of like I don't know, like comboed it with something or pocketed while they were doing it, like just anything, like some kind of team cooperation with his ultimate, I think like the Reaper players would be popping off a lot with their ults. But they're just very obvious. They'll like walk towards you, and it's like, oh, okay, that Reaper has an ultimate, or he's teleporting to high ground. He's like this ledge that's right over top of the point. Like he's obviously gonna drop down and ult on us. So yeah, he can be a little bit of a pain to kill sometimes, but like oftentimes when the Reaper's low, he'll go into Wraith form and he won't, like, it's very obvious, I guess, of where he'll Wraith form to. So it's very, he's just very predictable with how people play Reaper in gold. But he does do a lot of damage. I feel like he's like semi-consistent, kind of like soldier. And yeah, not really played too much though, besides like the people that play him for like play of the game. But that's the only time I really see him. Roadhog. Roadhog's like very in between. I feel like most Roadhogs in gold don't stand behind anything, so I'm actually gonna put him. I'll put Genji above Reinhardt. Yeah, I'll put Genji. I mean, these two are like very similar. I feel like Reinhardt plays like he has Genji Blade the whole game. But yeah, Roadhog, if people hid behind objects and didn't just rely on their healers the entire time, which is kind of the problem with Reinhardt too. Reinhardt players are very dependent on their healers, or they play like they are, where if both of these kind of like hid behind cover and like kind of played I don't know, a little bit more strategic, I guess, and not just like brute force every situation. But yeah, Roadhog, the problem with him is he's very big, easy to hit. When his hook is down, he's not really a threat. Unless you're like really close to him, then he can, and you're a tank. If you're a tank, he's still a threat without hook. But yeah, not really a threat. If you're like any one of these characters, you can just get free ult charge off of him. And yeah, a lot of people burn his heal right away and don't really let their own team heal them, which would charge their own teammates ult. So yeah, just I don't know, people kind of just play him like for the hook and the picks. But if they kind of like played him more to use the rest of his abilities and didn't just rely on that he's gonna hook someone and get a pick, I think they would actually be able to like create space with him and tank a lot better. And especially like 6v6, he's a really good off tank to kind of combat the other people's tanks as well. But yeah, I feel like he definitely is like a tank buster and can stop a lot of tanks. But like his main use is getting the people in the back line, which he's like, he has the potential to like pick off supports in the back line in gold rank, just because like there's so many times that a Mercy will hide like right behind Reinhardt, and Reinhardt's shield goes down, you can just hook Mercy and get a free pick, and then they're down a healer, and then you just wait till hook is down. So he's like really, really good. I really want to put him up here, but the positioning alone I think brings him down to here, and the fact that a lot of people don't like manage his heal and let their own supports heal him. So yeah, I'd put him down there. Symmetra, I think, is probably like either high A tier or S tier. I'll put her in A for now, but her turret, maybe I'll put her in S just because they're turrets. Her turrets create kind of the same problem that Pharah does, where it creates this scenario or objective where then you have to now destroy the turrets. I can't tell you how many times the tank will, or just anyone will walk forward. There's like 2 Symmetra turrets just beaming on them, and they don't know what's going on, and they're just kind of like, they don't even know they're taking damage, and then when they do know they're taking damage, and they're looking around, and by the time they actually find it, it's like kind of too late. And yeah, just people are really bad at destroying the turrets. And yeah, she just creates like a lot of like a mini game kind of while you're playing, which is kind of like what Pharah does, and it's a lot to focus on. So it kind of like just creates this like mini game where it should just be easy, just like destroy the turrets and move on. But yeah, just people don't really have like awareness too much of what's going on besides what's on their own screen in gold lobbies. So yeah, I think that's why she's strong. Also, she has a laser, which is like Zarya. So it makes it a bit easier to hit. Zarya, I feel like, is definitely up here. A lot of people, like, you barrier or you bubble, most people, like, most games I've played as Zarya, there's at least one person that's gonna dive them, or like over position themselves. Like, let's say a Reaper goes in really far and he's probably gonna die. We can Zarya bubble him, and everyone on the enemy team shoots at Zarya barriers, but then when they shoot at the Zarya barrier, they will realize that they're shooting at a Zarya barrier, and then they stop. And by the time they stop, they don't break the bubble, and then also they give Zarya like 100 charge right away. So then Zarya is running around like a monster with 100% charge with a laser beam that's pretty easy to hit with. And yeah, so she's really good. And everyone shoots at the barrier just enough to charge Zarya, but won't like break it to actually kill them. So, or just not shoot at the bubble at all to give her charge. So yeah, she's just walking around with like 100% charge all the time. And from what I've seen, she's like perma-banned in every game on gold lobbies. And yeah, so really good. She's got a good ultimate. Not many people like watch out for Grav or kind of keep track of like when her timer is or whatnot. So yeah, she's really good. It can kind of combo with like any tank. You can put Bubble on Reinhardt when he wants to go play Genji Blade on the enemy, or just charge in for no reason. So yeah, she can keep a lot of tanks alive. Really hard to deal with too. Kind of like the Symmetra and Pharah thing, where she puts Bubble on. Now you like have to play the mini game of Bubble and decide what to do. But yeah, I'd say she's pretty vulnerable though when her bubbles are down, and some people like will overlap and not leave themselves with anything. So that kind of creates a bit of a she's kind of vulnerable once that happens. Torb. I think Torb is like could be S tier as well, just because his turret creates this like whole thing. There's so many times when our team just can't destroy a Torb turret, and it literally like carries the whole fight, because the fight would be taken on like we'll start and people are like ulting or whatever and distracted, and there's a Torb turret on some high position that you just can't get to. And it's basically like this ultimate that's going on in the back that no one sees, and it has auto aim tracking, like all of that. And yeah, it could take out the healers, and you have no healers. There's just so many things with the Torb turret that he doesn't really even have to play the game with it. It's like a extra player, and then his ultimate's really good for like overtime and taking points. Yeah, the only thing I would say with Torb that kind of brings him down one is his projectile is kind of like maze a bit with a lob to it, and I don't really people aren't that great at like aiming with it. So yeah, I'd put him down probably for that, just because it's a little harder of a character for his projectile for a gold rank. Tracer, I would probably put around here, like maybe even S. She's like really annoying, and the thing with Tracer is that for whatever reason, when someone picks like any other character in the game, they will not flank or take like off angles or anything but kind of move with their Reinhardt or with their tank. But whenever someone plays Tracer, then all of a sudden they know how to gank or flank the enemy, and now they know to go for supports. I don't know why this happens, but people pick Tracer, and then they just naturally do that. I don't know if it's her teleporter or what, but yeah, so. And they also will play her on health packs a lot, so I'm not sure why when picking Tracer people start playing like that, but it makes them play better. And yeah, literally just because people flank with Tracer in gold rank, I'm putting her here. And yeah, I mean Genji could also do it, but people don't really play like that in gold. Widow, I'm gonna put at D rank because the only people that I've seen like do really well on her are like Smurfs that shouldn't even be in gold rank, and the ones that aren't are kind of will take like 10 shots and not do any damage or anything. So I'm gonna put her down there, and I feel like she's pretty easy to flank or like deal with like Winston or whatnot. But most games that I've played, it'll just be a Widow sitting in one spot the entire game, and no one even is looking at her or going for her or anything, and she'll just like miss all of her shots, and the game just kind of keeps going on. So yeah, Winston Winston should be like up here. I feel like he kind of is a little bit like Tracer, where I feel like he'll naturally create space, but a lot of Winstons would kind of just dive in and place barrier. They'll dive in, place barrier, and then they're kind of just like, oh fuck, I'm dead now because I have no resources. And they're oftentimes like so deep in that the healers can't get him, or he's not even near a health pack. So yeah, I feel like Winston's play like uber safe or too aggressive, kind of like with Reinhardt too, and don't really like mix it up. And the Winstons will also like bubble at weird points. I don't know, I feel like they just like drop their bubble for no reason, and then they'll like sometimes jump out of it and it's not even like covering anything. So yeah, I mean his weapon is really easy to aim, and yeah, but whenever a Winston jumps on someone, they never really go for like the supports, and he's really good too because people will group up and you can jump on like you can jump on a Mercy or something, and oftentimes you got Moira and Soldier that are being like electrocuted at the same time, so you're hitting 3 people, and all it takes is like you're on a anti and they're all dead and you're playing Winston. But yeah, I just don't see him really do that. I feel like people play him like Reinhardt most of the time, like these two. Like the same players I feel like play both of these. But yeah. Zen's really good, but I feel like I feel like next to Hanzo is probably a good for gold rank. I don't really see people use Discord very well, or like people don't really follow up on it, which sucks. And then yeah, I don't really know. He's so easy to kill. Like pretty much everyone can 1v1 him. Zen, I feel people miss a lot with Zen's projectiles. I see a lot of Zenyatas will just charge the projectiles and hope to get like the big charge and one shot someone, and that's kind of all they go for, and it makes it really predictable. And a lot of people will use his ult very weird as well. Yeah, I'm not really sure. But then Ana could be like A tier easily if people hit her sleep dart a lot more. The anti is super busted. Like if you anti someone in gold rank, they're probably gonna die. And just because like everyone kind of heal bots in gold rank, so I would put her like, I would say she's probably close to McCree, somewhere in here. But yeah, her nano doesn't really get much like benefit, I feel like, in gold rank. Like if they comboed with Genji's blade, then like if a lot of Genjis were using nano blade, I would definitely put both of them up. But that doesn't really happen. I don't know. the anti-nade definitely brings her up here, but then also, like I was saying, a lot of people just heal bot with her on their tank, and you have to have a little bit of accuracy, and most people won't do damage with her, or if they do damage with her, they'll be like super tunnel vision, and all of a sudden they're playing like Widowmaker as Ana, and then their whole team dies. And yeah, so I'll put her there because yeah, kind of like a lot of them that are down here, it's very hard for, I feel like, people that are in gold rank or around there to kind of like use a lot of the potential, a lot of the abilities and mechanics like effectively. Sombra, I feel like, is up here. She's really annoying. You can, especially in gold rank, I feel like she maybe gives more use than Genji. Yeah, probably right here. She's like, if she gets a hack on you and hits some bullets, you're probably gonna be dead. But I like her main use really is just hacking the tanks. From what I've seen in like gold, even though she like can very easily flank and kill supports really easily, like a lot of them will just get shredded by a hack and then a clip of her gun. And then her ultimate can like totally win team fights, but yeah, it's really hard for gold lobbies to like actually follow up with her ultimate on the timing and actually follow up with her hacks. It's kind of like Zenyatta's Discord orb. Like I feel like these two kind of have that same theme of they're really strong. This like kind of triangle on us nade too. Just kind of hard to follow up on her stuff. And yeah, I feel like most people in gold will probably just see the Sombra and think like they're AFK, even though they've been in the back line like hacking the tanks and different things, but no one follows up on it. So I feel like yeah, I feel like people don't really know how to play with Sombra, with Ana, with Zen kind of. Orisa, man, I don't know. Orisa's not bad, but I feel like Orisa kind of has like that Reaper effect where everyone just is going for play of the game with her ultimate. Yeah, I don't really see many like hit the spear. The problem with tanks in gold is that a lot of people will just like shoot the other tank in the face the whole game and not really like go for any other character in the lobby. So yeah, I mean, she could easily be like up there. She's a bit of a like easier tank, I would say, to play. She's kind of like decent at hitting flying characters too. Yeah, just from what I've seen though, I have to have her down here because like whenever there's a Orisa, I don't really feel like threatened or like she really does anything special. They kind of just like are like most Orisa players I see just will hide behind Reinhardt and then just like act like they're this gunner character and won't really like create space or do anything with their abilities. So I'll probably just put her out there because I just haven't really seen an Orisa do anything like crazy. Doomfist, I would have to put probably next to yeah, I'd probably put Doomfist with Tracer. Doom is just like a good Doomfist can like easily carry the team in gold, and kind of like I feel like is like Tracer where no one really turns around in gold rank. So if he's jumping your backline, it's pretty much two supports or one support 1v1 in a Doomfist, which is really hard to do since he has like 400 health and you're playing Mercy or something. So yeah, for that. And then he's got really good mobility. I feel like for some reason a lot of gold players actually know a lot of his animation cancels and how to do his jumps and different things and how to use his ultimate, which is kind of surprising, I guess, compared to a lot of the other characters. Yeah, so I'd rank him probably up here. He's like very similar to Tracer, but he's a tank. And yeah, Moira, I'm definitely gonna put it up here. But I would say like probably around here. Like every Moira I've seen in a lobby in gold rank has really high heals and really good damage as well. And I think it's kind of like that Tracer effect where when someone plays Tracer, they like actually start flanking. And it's kind of like Moira too. It makes people, I mean, it's like our whole theme with the dark and light, like healing and doing damage. So people will like naturally start doing damage and start healing. So if people started playing with like that with Ana and not just healbot the whole time, then I think like Ana would be in this S tier as well. But just since I don't know why, but people pick Moira and it starts to make sense for that kind of thing. She's got good mobility. She's got like auto aim basically. And her orb, her damage orb is really good. People will be in small corridors and it will just do a ton of damage. She gets her ult really quickly. And yeah, I don't know, just a pain to deal with. She can flank your own supports. She can go back and heal. Just a really strong threat, and I feel like it's always something kind of have to worry about in gold lobbies. And she just sneaks away a lot in gold lobbies. Like people won't really go and chase Amora after she like does her dash away. She'll just dash away, and everyone will act like she just disappeared, and no one can like find her, but they don't even try, and they'll just like go back with their day. And then all of a sudden 2 seconds later, they're like, oh, the Moira's back killing our supports. So yeah, I don't think people really know how to deal with her. Brig I feel like is kind of like Lucio for gold rank. Like I feel like I don't know, Brig players in gold kind of don't really like take advantage of her shield much. They kind of play like Reinhardt in a way where they'll just like it's like they want their shield to be damaged for some reason. So yeah, I haven't really seen like a crazy Brig player in gold. Hamster I'd probably put down here. Yeah, I'd probably put down here too. Just every hamster in gold, so they'll like use a grapple hook and then they'll fling up and they'll just like fully charge it, and it takes so long by the time he actually slams down. Everyone's kind of just out of the way, and then Soldier and Bastion are just blowing him up in like a few seconds. So I mean, and again, like none of these characters are bad. It's just kind of like how they are in gold, or like from people playing them. So yeah, it's more so like a tier list of how these characters have been performing, I guess, in gold from what I've seen in my games, and kind of like how easy to play they are. So like as it goes down, it's kind of like a little bit harder of a character, or like harder situations or decision making, and kind of like game knowledge. Ashe, I feel like Ashe can kind of go with Hanzo. Like I feel like she's a little bit better than having a Widow. She has the dynamite. A lot of people group up, so dynamite will hit multiple people. A lot of people will let Bob hit them until they die, kind of like the Torb turret. Like people just won't turn to kill Bob. Yeah, so she gets away with Bob a lot in gold rank. And yeah, she kind of has like that Widow thing where she might not get a hit for a while though. So I'd probably put her around here. And like I think Hanzo is better than Ashe and Widow for gold rank, because like he can accidentally just get a kill by like flinging his crosshair and it accidentally hits someone. Or he has dragons, which will just like randomly get 3 kills from someone that like ran into a wall or something. Baptiste, I think probably around Reaper. Yeah, I'd say like here. His ultimate, I think, is like, from the games I've seen, he does a lot of damage. People play him like a soldier kind of in a support role. I'm not sure on like the heals how well people are healing with him, but he does save a lot of people with his invincibility field thing, and that's like an extra thing to just shoot at. Which in like, I feel like in gold rank, every little thing like that, like Symmetra, Torb turret, his invincibility thing, those like extra things are just very distracting, and it just makes it harder to kind of think and deal with. Really, he does a lot of damage, and also his ultimate, I feel like, is very easy for people to use since everyone is kind of already grouped up in gold lobbies. So when everyone's grouped up, it's like he can just place it down, and everyone kind of treats it like a Ryan shield that they'll just throw their stuff through. So yeah, I'd put him like an A, because I think he kind of goes well with like this my group versus your group, tanks are gonna shoot each other kind of thing. Sigma is probably, I might put him like above Zarya. Man, I might put him kind of high up actually. I feel like Sigma is definitely up there, because his ultimate's really really good in gold rank. Like you can hit like 4 or 5 people in it. Everyone groups together. And a lot of people will shoot at the enemies in the air too, which is kind of surprising because they won't hit like Pharah or Mercy really. But yeah, people know how to play with the ult. His like shield charge, everyone will shoot at it, so he gets a lot of charge like Zarya. And he's got the rock. Also, his projectiles have a lot of AoE on it, and a lot of people will group into like corridors or hallways, so it makes it really easy to just do a lot of damage to the group and charge your ultimate. And he's also got a barrier, which a lot of people in gold rank like to play with barriers. But yeah, Echo, man, Echo I might have to put kind of low, sadly. I just feel like whenever I see Echo, they don't really combo her abilities or kind of know how to combo them, or like what her mechanics are. And I don't know, the best case I see for like Echo is they copy a tank and then run at you. But yeah, I don't know, I never feel like very threatened by Echo, or have seen like an Echo do really well in gold rank. Same with Sojourn, sadly. People rarely hit her laser, and her ultimate is not really like, can't be used to its full potential, because it is gold rank. Like people's accuracy is not amazing. Junker Queen, man, Junker Queen I kind of have to put maybe like B. There's a lot of tanks in this region. Junker Queen is like, man, maybe even like below Rhine, but yeah, I'd say maybe like either next to Rhine, like slightly above him. I'd say no, because at least Rhine, like everyone will want to hide behind his shield, so they feel safe. But Junker Queen, her ult is super. I'd like put her like here for her ultimate. Since everyone groups up, you can often hit the whole team with it, and they all are antied, and it's pretty much like a team wipe. So yeah, maybe I'll put her here. But like other than that, besides her shout, I don't really see like Junker Queens knowing how to like combo with her knife into the melee and different things like that. If if people started learning Junker Queen and gold ranks, she could be like a lot higher up, I think. More like with Doomfist, I feel like. But yeah, and Junker Queens play very passive and scared and rely on their healers a lot. Kiriko's like, okay, well, one thing with Kiriko is I guess everyone heal bots with her. Maybe I'll put her in the Baptiste. Everyone heal bots with her. They don't use her damage shurikens, even though they do like a crap ton of damage. They are good at spamming Suzu though. They will spam Suzu and heal bot basically every game for gold Kirikos, and the ultimate I feel like people don't really follow up on, which like could actually drop her. But her heals are really good. But the problem with like her impact is that you have like a Reinhardt who wants to shield. When his shield gets broken, he goes in and he begs for heals, and then Kiriko is heal botting. So both characters are basically not doing anything. So it kind of creates like this problem. But if Kirikos were doing like what Mora players do in gold, then she would like instantly like be up here. But yeah, no one really uses her as like a hybrid or like try to do damage. She's got good mobility. She has Suzu, which can get anyone out of anything, and then her ultimate's like one of the better like team fight winning ultimates. But yeah, I see her ult so many times and just everyone runs away from it. No one goes in it, or it's like thrown too far up or not far enough. So yeah, and also Kirikos I think stand in like very dangerous spots a lot, kind of like most of the people do in gold. Or Maltra, I'd probably put him. Maltra's kind of hard. I feel like above Winston because his ultimate can just team wipe and everyone groups together. So you just click Q and walk forward, and you're probably gonna kill all of them. Which maybe is better than Roadhog, because Roadhog I can see gets shut down a lot. Maybe he's like up here. Yeah, maybe like around Sombra, since Sombra's ult also does kind of a similar thing, but it has to be followed up on. Maybe I actually put him up here, which feels really weird. But there's just so many times he presses Q, he walks up, your whole team dies, and I feel like no one really knows what to do when Ramacho presses Q. And so, yeah, put him probably there. There's so many games in overtime, he just presses Q and wins. And, yeah, he's got a barrier. But his weapon does so much damage, but I feel like people don't like abuse his range enough. He's kind of like always up front. Yeah, I'll put him here. He has like that potential like Junker Queen has with the just like team wiping ultimate. But yeah, people don't really like use his other things. Kind of like Reaper a little bit, but at least Reaper's better with doing damage easy. So yeah, he's kind of like a play of the game character for gold rank. Lifeweaver, I'm gonna have to put down here. Oh, he's a little bit better than Lucio though. Maybe I'll put him like here in front of Ashe. Yeah, it's like I've seen some good Lifeweavers that combo his pull orb, kind of like with Zarya. And I see a lot of Lifeweavers will like combo with their aggressive Reinhardt, who just wants to 1v6 the whole game, and they'll pull him back, and it actually works really well. But like, and he does good damage. But other than that, it's kind of his impact is a little like iffy. That people use his ultimate like Zen's kind of at like weird times. So yeah, I think like here. Alira, and I don't know. I don't really see like. I feel like it's kind of like this character where she like, I don't know. You need like a bit of precision with her, and people. I don't really see people like. I don't know. Kind of just like an more aim character. I feel like their positioning is really bad, and they rely on her jump. Yeah, I don't know. I just haven't like seen anything crazy in gold rank. A lot of people miss the ultimate too. Maga I'd probably put with Orisa. I feel like it's kind of a similar theme. Can kind of just become a bullet sponge, where at least Orisa can block in different things. But yeah, I'd place Maga probably here. Sometimes he just turns into Roadhog, where he's a bullet sponge. He can charge your ult really, really quick. But he is a bit annoying when he ults and then they combo it with like Junkrat Tire or something like that. So yeah, I'd place him there. A lot of these characters, how they're played in gold, is a lot of like going for play of the game, trying to hit 6 people with your ultimates. Venture does really good damage. I see a lot of people on my team will like wait for the Venture to come out of the rock, and it has a really long animation, so it like distracts them for like a whole 10 seconds or so. Does pretty good damage. I'd maybe put it like around here from what I've seen. Yeah, I don't really have much to say really. Juno. Maybe Juno goes. The speed boost is really nice. Yeah, I'd maybe put Juno. Yeah, I don't know. I'd say around here. I feel like people in gold rank position very bad with Juno. They're kind of like a Pharah that's like super easy to hit. And yeah, or they try to like flank with her. It's hard to get people to follow up on your things as Juno. Like the speed boost, you have to place like right in front of them, or they won't even like walk into it. Like no one really use your speed boost. And also her ultimate, people won't really use that either, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, I feel like for gold ring, she's kind of like a better Lucio, is what it feels like for how people play them. I would probably put Hazard like, I just maybe like below Ash. I feel like he's like weird for gold rank players, because like in gold everyone just wants like Rhine shields. They just want Rhine shield and some heal bot to heal them. Like that's kind of the mindset. And Hazard doesn't have that. So like if someone plays Hazard in gold rank, they're like, oh, we don't have a tank. So even though he's really good, like I would probably put him like up here if it was for actually like how good the character is. But yeah, in gold, I'd probably put him somewhere around here. I feel like kind of like the Mei problem. People will wall to like almost help the enemy team a lot. And I don't know, his dash, people don't really like, kind of like Winston, like people don't know how to position. His gun does a ton of damage. Yeah, he's just really good. Yeah, not many people play him either in gold. Like out of all the characters on this list, he's probably the least played that I see in gold rank. I think Freya, she's definitely better than Hanzo. Just not many people play her. Like as I was saying, like Hazard, like she's probably one of the least played characters. Good movement, like yeah, I don't know. I'd probably put her like in B just because she's like a. I feel like for or like maybe nah, not as probably as effective as McCree. I'd probably put it around here. Yeah, probably somewhere around here. Um, this character, I'm like honestly not sure his name, but I would not many people play him either in gold. He's yeah. I feel like whenever someone does, it feels like he's like not in the lobby. Like I never really see him in any of like the fights or different things. But I've tried him and he seems really good. But yeah, I would say like for impact, I don't know. I just like don't see him like do anything crazy ever. Vendetta is like, hmm. Maybe Vendetta is like around. Well, I think I'd rather have a Hanzo and a Zen. Maybe like around here. I feel like people are kind of afraid of like engaging in gold rank, so people won't really like flank or position at a good angle that would like make Vendetta thrive. So or kind of know her mechanics are like a little bit probably confusing compared to the rest of the characters. Like even Ash and these other ones would probably be easier. Yeah, maybe like at the front of D, just because. Yeah, I don't know. People kind of like want similar characters, like Bastion, Soldier, like just something that's like pick up and go. Where I feel like it's a more intricate character, or at least has like more mechanics to them than some of the other ones. And I just not a very popular character in gold. Yeah, Anran, or on run. I'd probably put I don't know. A kind of similar thing. I put like above Maga. It's like kind of similar. A lot of people play her, but whenever I see her played, it's like she'll dash in, use her iframe move, and then dash out, and she didn't really like accomplish anything unless someone was 1 HP. And I just don't see people like use her projectiles at all. And they'll just kind of like do that the whole game, just dash in, hit the iframe, and dash out. And yeah, I just feel like any other character like above this for gold, I see like be a lot more effective for kind of like progressing the game in your favor. So yeah, I mean, I've ran into like a lot of good ones, but it's kind of like very rare. I feel like on average, Domina, I feel like is actually really good in gold, like maybe right behind Mora. I feel like her barrier is really strong. Yeah, maybe the average. I think the average Domino is probably better than Zarya. Maybe yeah, I think that's probably right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Just when people play her and they put the barrier up, it kind of makes the teams play smarter in, in a weird way. I don't know, or they like feel safer or something. But yeah, nobody shoots her ultimate, so she can get a lot of kills off her ult. People don't really like try to dodge her projectile, and everyone groups too, so that like bomb that she throws out is really effective at hitting people and doing damage. And then yeah, her barrier is a little tricky to deal with. Yeah, so definitely up there. Imuru, Um, I'd probably people really like his all. People are decent with his ultimate in Gold Rank, but like without his ult, it's kind of yeah. Without his ults, I don't feel like people do much with him. I feel like yeah, I just put him around there. Jetpack Cat. He's like permabanned in gold rank games. I think people just don't want to deal with him. His flying is really, really annoying. It's like another Pharah. Um, uh, I feel like he's kind of like a troll pick though, in gold as well, because people don't really like combo a lot of his stuff. Like when I see him pick up someone, like a Bastion or something, it just seems like he's more so trolling than anything. So, but like the fact that he flies and he's a little hard to hit, I think I'd put him up here, even though like his impact is not crazy. I don't know. I just put him up there for like the shenanigans and stuff. Um, I forget this character's name, but I played him a lot. I've seen enemy ones. He's actually quite common for a pick. Hmm. I think people will use his ult like really badly though. They will just use that thing when they have it, even if like nothing's wrong. Um, people don't really flank too much with him or like abuse his mechanic with the teleport. I'd probably put him like above Juno though. Just because his ult's like very flashy, so it's a bit easier. Probably put him around here. I feel like, I mean, he's got the auto heal in. I feel like people kind of know to do damage with him, so it's got a bit of the Moira effect. Like maybe he could actually be around here or higher than Sombra. Maybe around here. So yeah, he's got like the Moira effect. He does damage. People use his ult at like really weird times. And he's always like, I feel like people position weird with him. They either like backline the whole game, like on their own backline, and play way too passive where they're not like doing anything. And like trying to heal bot with him almost. Or they're like a second tank, even though you have two other tanks. So yeah, they're either frontlining like way too hard, or they're yeah, I don't know. Played very Syria is like permaban in gold rank as well. So I'd probably put her like, yeah, I'd probably put her like here with these three. I always see these three like pocketed before. And yeah, her ultimate, everyone groups up, so her ultimate does a lot for the team. Gem ability, not many people use it really though. They just use it to like get up on a high ground and then kind of just set up, and that's about it. And oh, and then her shot that mates all for other projectiles tag on does a ton of damage. People get hit by that all the time. So yeah, I would say like she's like kind of like soldier in a weird way. So yeah, but yeah, this is my tier list for for gold lobbies. Kind of like what I've seen, how like people and games I've played kind of perform, I guess, on average, and a little of like kind of what I think is strong, or like strong on like an average gold player, I guess. Like not necessarily like if you solo mained like Genji or something. Like obviously a lot of these characters are up here on like on those sorts of things. Like you could definitely carry with like Hanzo and Alira and like all these, or Hazard and different characters like that. But it's kind of like what I see from games of like on average kind of how they perform, or if they're on my team are they likely to do good, like just because of the character sort of thing. So yeah, I guess the myths of how easy they are to use, and like how they make someone play, I guess. So yeah, that's kind of the list for that. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. You can like and subscribe if you like the video or whatnot. So yeah, I'll see you guys.